So here we have the Space Needle. It's pretty cool. Apparently when it's very windy you can feel it sway in the top. Oh yeah, and in the middle here there's a fountain that you should not sit on or else you're going to get told off. That's why no one's sitting on it. Over here is a very nice glass museum. And behind this very nice glass museum you have behind here, if you go back behind the Space Needle, you will find a what's his name? A music museum and other different stuff museum. So yeah, pretty cool area. So here you have the monorail that goes straight into downtown directly. Funny story about monorails. Great idea in back in the 70s, 60s, 80s, but it turned out to be very impractical. But still great fun to have them and kind of a unique attraction. So we are at the Armory, which is located here. Big box building, not very impressive from the outside, and it's very kind of close to the Space Needle. Inside the Armory there's always something cool happening. Last time I was here, the what's his name called, the robot battles were here, and today it seems like there is a Turkish festival, which is pretty cool. So that's a very cool place to go, the Armory. Great food and always something interesting to see. Yeah.
My name is Andre Taylor. I'm the chair of De-Escalate Washington.
My name is Stephen Paolini. I'm the field director for the De-Escalate Washington campaign on Initiative 940.
Okay.
It's called De-Escalate Washington.
De-Escalate Washington. Yes.
De-Escalate Washington has a campaign and initiative to change the state law in Washington State, which is an outlier with all the other states.
Okay.
We have a particular law that no other state has. The language in our law says in order for us to hold a law enforcement officer accountable
Yes.
for a behavior that might not be justified,
Yeah.
we have to prove that an officer had malice.
Yes.
Malice means that we have to figure out what was in his mind
Okay.
at the time of his action, which is virtually impossible.
Yes.
So because of this statute in our law,
Yeah.
in over 3 decades, not one officer has ever been held accountable,
Yeah.
even in the most egregious cases
Yeah.
of police using deadly force, ever been accountable. So we want to change that.
Yes.
We want to make sure that everybody is held accountable if you have a job.
Absolutely. Yes. So
Well, you have to get a lot of people involved, first of all, to believe in what you're doing. So what we tried to do from the beginning is get marginalized communities involved that have been primarily affected by police killings, which is Latino organizations, Native tribes, and black churches, and go to those individuals and say, you know, this problem we've been both having for many, many years, but we've been fighting separately.
yeah.
How about us come together as a coalition and fight these egregious acts together?
Yes.
And they agreed.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the unity part of it.
Okay.
And then you go out and you get a poll. You do a statewide poll.
Yeah.
Because you want to see how many people around the state can support something like this if it goes on the ballot.
Yeah.
So polls are very expensive. The whole process is very expensive.
Yes.
You know, they're not going to allow you to just pass something like police accountability very easy. It's going to cost us almost $1 million to get it on the ballot.
Yeah.
Right? So you do this poll, costs a lot of money, $40,000, $50,000.
Yeah.
And you come back, and if you have a viable poll, which is 60% or better of people around the state saying, we want to help you, and this needs to be changed, then you have something viable.
Yeah.
When we got our poll back, it was 75%. So we were like, wow, we can get this done.
Yeah.
So now you go to funders, people who want to contribute to it. You can't go to them without any evidence that you can win.
Yeah.
Right? If I go to them and say, help me, they say, well, what does the poll say? You say the poll says 75%.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yes.
If you don't have no poll, people want to put money in something that they can't win.
Yeah.
So I'll let
Yeah, no, that was all of it. I mean, in the state of Washington, we have an initiative process where if you gather 8% of signatures of registered voters in the state,
Yeah.
that turns out to be around 340,000.
Yeah.
If you gather that number of signatures, you can get something on the ballot for the next year.
Yeah.
So we have a deadline of this year at December 28th to
Yeah.
gather that number of signatures, and if we do so, the text of the initiative goes to the state legislature. They have a chance to pass it as representatives, do their job. If they don't, we decide what the text initiative looks like on the ballot in November of 2018.
Okay.
So that's the process in the state of Washington. The United States has different processes depending on where you are in the country, but that's the one for this state. We're looking around 340,000. That's a huge number, and we get that primarily through either, paying firms to gather signatures, mobilizing organizations like he was talking about, or having our own grassroots volunteer program. And if you look around, we had tables set up and volunteers out here, people giving their own time because they care about this initiative and they know the cost. The folks are dying on the streets. And so, that's how this happens in the United States. And it's not an easy process. It is cost prohibitive. Normal ballot initiatives, I've worked on initiatives in the past that have cost $4 million from start to finish. The fact that this one was only going to cost $1 million, despite how that sounds like a lot, is really, really cheap, and it is a testament to the grassroots coalition that is behind this initiative, that tribal councils, labor unions, disabilities rights organizations, Latino rights organizations, and many more have come together and said, we want to pass this and make sure that this is possible. Because 75% of the people in this state support it, it's a testament to the amount of support. But this process is very difficult, and it is absolutely cost prohibitive. Yeah.
Right.